Okay, gentlemen and ladies, let's talk about converting between fractions, decimals, and percents. We're going to do this with Cornell Notes. So let's real quick set up our page. So you'd set up Cornell Notes. There you go down the left side, you have a column. Go straight across for your title. We're going to call this, like I said, converting between fractions, decimals, and percents. I don't know why I didn't capitalize the D in decimals. If you want to, go right ahead. It's all up to you. So we're going to use 4/5 as our example. So the way 4/5 generally works is, it means that you have 4 out of a 5 total of things. So if I were to draw this out, if my total was 5, 4/5 means I have 4 of these 5. All of you already know this, and maybe you forgot, but you know this. You've seen this before, 4 out of 5. What we're going to do is we're going to start with fractions. So like I said, we'll use 4/5 as a fraction. We're going to go from that down to decimals, and then over to percents, and back to fractions. I'm going to go quickly because since it's recorded, you can go ahead and rewind it if you need to hear something again anyway. So to go from fractions to decimals, we need to take our 4 divided by our 5. 5 goes into 4 0 times, so let's bring in our decimal. Put our decimal up. 5 goes into 40 8 times. 8 times 5 is 40. Subtract, I get 0. That's my decimal, 0.8. Now, you can pause there if you need to. Like I said, we're going to keep going. To get from 0.8 to a percent, so from any decimal to a percent, all you have to do is multiply this by 100. So 0.8 times 100, because that's what percent means. Cent is 100. And I'll get, if I move my decimal twice, I'll get 80%. Very simple, very basic. So all you do, take your 0.8, multiply it by 100, I get 80%. Now, I want to take my 80%, make it go back into a fraction. I need to write this as my percent, which was 80 over 100. Remember, 80 over 100, 80% per 100. I take my 80%, I go ahead and I simplify. Simplify. I can divide the top and bottom by 10. I'll get 8 over 10. Divide top and bottom by 2. I'll get 4 over 5. And that's my 4/5 fraction right there. Done. So that's how you convert between fractions, decimals, and percents. Let's do a couple of examples real quick. Let's start with a fraction. I'm going to change it to a decimal, and then go from there to a percent in a couple of examples. And these are the ones for you to practice, so you're going to pause the video and go through some of these yourself. So let's start with fraction. So if we had 3/8 as a fraction, to get from there to a decimal, what do you do? Okay, hopefully you pause the video, you got to work on that. 8 going into 3.0. 8 goes into 3 0 times, bring in my decimal. 8 goes into 30 3 times. You get 24, subtract it down, 6, 0. 8 goes into 60, 7 times, 56. 4, bring down my next 0. 8 goes into 40, 5 times. So my decimal is 0.375. That's why we use erasers in math. That's why you always use your pencil. 375. Now to get from that to a percent, 0.375 times it by 100. I move my decimal over once, twice, I get 37.5. Real simple. Make sure you write it as a percent. Let's start with a different number. Let's say I started with my decimal, 0.25. How do you get from that to a percent? 0.25 times 100, I get 25%. Real simple. Remember, we move the decimal over. How do I get from my 25% back to a fraction? Remember, I'm going to take my 25 over 100, reduce the top and bottom. I can divide top and bottom by 25, and I'll get 1 over 4. It worked. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, I'll see you all in class.